Welcome to the Florida Motorcycle Weekly Webcast. I'm Mike Savage, owner of Go For Ride magazine, and this is our weekly webcast where we'll get you updated on the Florida motorcycle scene. We'll give you some news you can use and also let you know what's coming up on the calendar events. And from time to time we'll throw in something unexpected. So pay attention, and we won't waste your time doing it. So let's get started. Have you got your copy of the February issue of Go For Ride magazine yet? It's available now at motorcycle shops and biker-friendly establishments throughout Florida. Or you can also read it online at gofarmag.com. This issue is filled with plenty of good reading and useful information for those who enjoy riding. The content is family friendly, and as always, our centerfold is a scenic ride map. This month's ride shows you that there are some good roads for riding in the southeastern part of the state. GoFar is one of the most popular motorcycle monthlies in the state of Florida. As a rider, you don't want to miss a single issue. As a business owner, this is an affordable and effective means to deliver your message to our readers. Check us out and give us a call. Now it's time for the news. Welcome to this edition of the Florida Motorcycle Weekly Webcast Newswire, brought to you by Go For Ride magazine. First up, the AIM Expo will be a 4-day event in 2014. Marketplace Events Motorcycle Group recently announced that the American International Motorcycle Show, which debuted in Orlando in October, will be a 4-day event held from October 16th through 19th in 2014. The show will again be held at the Orlando Convention Center, with trade and media days being on Thursday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday expanding to include consumer attendees. The inaugural AIM Expo featured 392 exhibitors, including Yamaha, Suzuki, Eric Buell Racing, Kimco, the Ace Cafe, Tucker Rocky, Biker's Choice, and others. The show was staged at the same time as Biketoberfest in Daytona Beach, but was definitely a different type of atmosphere. Along with filling the convention hall with vendors, there was also an outdoor riding and demonstration area. More information on this year's event can be found online at aimexpousa.com. Perhaps the biggest news for us at Go For A Ride magazine this month was hearing that Cruising with Katie had been involved in another bike accident. Her and husband Tom were riding some back roads when a four-wheeler ATV came across the road in front of her and took her out. She spent a week in the hospital and is now recovering at home, and it'll be a few months, but she says she'll be riding again. I want to send our thanks out to everyone for their prayers and donations to help Katie out. More updates will be made on her forum and the Go For A Ride Facebook page. Other news coming up from the AMA and concerns the E15 fuel push which the government's doing. The Agriculture Act of 2014 was passed by the U.S. House of Representatives on January 29th and contains a provision that would deter distribution of E15 fuels into the U.S. marketplace. The bill will be considered by the U.S. Senate this week before going to the President for his signature. The American Motorcyclist Association considers this provision a victory for the owners and riders of the estimated 22 million motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles currently in operation. Those vehicles could be damaged by use of E15 fuel, which is a gasoline formulation that contains up to 15% ethanol by volume. Known as the Farm Bill, it prohibits the use of Rural Energy for America program grant money to purchase and install special ethanol blender pumps for use at the retail level. The AMA has repeatedly expressed concerns about potential E15 misfueling and the subsequent damage that the fuel can have on motorcycles and ATV engines and fuel systems. The AMA believes that blender pumps dispensing E15 at service stations will create a high potential for inadvertent E15 misfueling by consumers. The AMA will continue to monitor the E15 issue. That's it for the news this week from the Florida Motorcycle Weekly Webcast. The Cape Coral Bike Night is held 4 times a year and is on the schedule for this Saturday, February 8th. One of Cape Coral's most popular events, featuring vendors, food, drink, and live music. The party is on from 5 to 10 p.m. More info is online at ccbikenight.com. On Sunday, February 9th, the 8th annual Treasure Coast Bike Fest takes place in Stuart. It's a daytime event from 11 to 5 p.m. at Memorial Park. There'll be a poker run, live entertainment, vendors, food, and they're even raffling off a motorcycle and trailer this year. More info is online at treasurecoastbikefest.com. Hey, don't forget to check out the event calendar and every issue of Go For Ride magazine. Ride safe! Thanks much for tuning in, and check back next week for another edition of the Florida Motorcycle Weekly Webcast, brought to you by Go For Ride magazine.